Pagbilang mula sa 5, tayo po'y muling aawit ng MPBL na sa ating pagpapatuloy sa Muntinlupa Sports Center ng ating 5th season ng Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. And there you see the GENSAN Warriors getting ready for action against the Manila Stars as they try to secure themselves in the South Division playoff race. Mark Cruz was supposed to be the best player with 26 points versus Val City, but because of the triple-double of Mr. Kid Jimenez, he finally got his first Best Player of the Game award in the 5th season of our league with 10 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists. Kabila naman, Mark Yu had 21 points with 7 rebounds against Iloilo in their previous outing, accompanied by, of course, the 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 dimes of Tito Alan Mangaas. Let's see what Manila can show us today against the GENSAN Warriors. And of course, this battle will be followed by Makati versus Iloilo. And then in the main game, the Muntinlupa Cagers will defend the cage against the Imus SV squad. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Coach Mike Perez and Sheila Salaysay. Now, Coach Mike, balikan natin si Kid Jimenez na mention ko kanina, no? Triple-double in their previous outing. What do you think is the impact of that performance of Kid for GENSAN?
Well, Kid is gonna be pretty huge para sa GENSAN because he gives them so much versatility at that point. It's almost positionless when you talk about Kid Jimenez. He rebounds, he scores, he assists. In fact, if you look at the numbers before, he was not really in points na leading, you know. Sa rebound siya nagko-concentrate tsaka assist. And so if you have that getting into the playoffs, man, the other guards of the other top teams are gonna have problems. And Serrano, the rest of the other guards of the top teams, even the guards of Nueva Ecija, they're gonna be posing a lot of challenge when they go up against a revitalized Kid Jimenez.
And speaking of the playoff race para sa GENSAN Warriors, let's see, no? Or let's hear kung paano nga ba yung mindset nila tungkol dyan mula kay Sheila Salaysay. Sheila, go ahead.
Hi Mix and Coach Mike at sa lahat nating mga kaligang nakatutok this Friday afternoon for GENSAN. Sabi ni Coach Rich, ayaw nilang isipin na ito yung ranking nila because they want to be consistent and they want to be on top. At paano nila gagawin yun? Ang sabi niya, he wants his guys to be better all the time, not thinking about anything but just to play the game.
There you have it, one game at a time for one of the possible title contenders that we have here in the 5th season of the MPBL. Now, we do thank you for joining us live on MPTV Channel 98 on Signal TV, also our live streams on Facebook and on YouTube. Ngayon, balikan natin ang ating team standing so that we would find out kung kamusta nga ba ang ating mga koponan, beginning with the North Division.
Well, actually, the North Division is really a battle of the top teams to be in the number 4 spot. No, 3 teams are actually in the number 8, number 9, number 10 spot, really still going through it. No, especially when you look at Nueva Ecija coming off a 2-game losing streak, finally getting on the win, winning against Pasig that last time. And San Juan, ironically, coming off a +11 win record, now goes down after they lost to Zamboanga. And of course, yung number 6, number 8, number 9, number 10 natin, that's going to be a tight battle between Marikina, Bataan, and Rizal Golden Coolers, all of which trying to get to number 8 and are on a win streak right now and could be that catching that last bus of number 8 in this division.
Pasay, by the way, will not be excused. They have the same total wins with Marikina. Kabila naman sa South.
Well, dito naman, exciting rin tomorrow yung game battle for number 1 in the South. It's gonna be Bacoor versus Batangas. But you look at the top 8 seedings, pretty much set. But I feel there's a huge factor when it comes to Muntinlupa because they could be a telling team when it comes to the fate of Bacolod, Sarangani, and even Negros. Because, you know, Muntinlupa's been losing close games, and if these bottom teams win at least 3 of their remaining 5 games, they could be in that 8 seed in this division.
But again, the question for Muntinlupa is hanggang kailan na lang po si JL De Los Santos bago siya kunin ni Coach Louie Gonzalez. Now, let's talk about the previous game of the GENSAN Warriors. It actually happened in this venue, no? It was a dominating performance versus Valenzuela.
Yeah, in that game by GENSAN Warriors, you know, they defeated Valenzuela and it claimed the third spot in the division. Really, ang maganda dun is yung Mark Cruz and John Wilson scoring 26 and 23 points respectively. Of course, we talked about the triple-double of Kid Jimenez in that game.
There you have it, Kid Jimenez telling us, to your point as well, no, na napatunayan niya na scorer na siya dito sa ating liga. Kaya rebounding naman, assists naman, defense naman para kay Kit in the 5th season of the MPBL. We don't know just how high his stock might be for the upcoming PBA draft.
Yeah, and you look at the numbers here. Really, it's the percentage of the field goals made, 55%. How about the +11 3 points made para dito sa GENSAN, which really told on them at the start of the game, eventually leading to that win.
Dapat nga Mark Cruz, John Wilson.
Oh,
no?
yeah. Nung una, no?
Automatic na sa
Nung
first
una,
half silang
right.
dalawa.
Right.
Kabila naman for the Manila Stars, it's been a long road for them, especially these past 2 weeks. Literally at that, because they were the teams, or the team, who were victimized by both Negros and Iloilo.
Yeah, tough loss against Iloilo. 4 points losing cause para dito sa Iloilo. They were 9 ties, 20 lead changes with no team leading by more than 7 points. Mark Yu led that team with that game rather with 21 points. Kyle Napes had 11. But you know, things are really going to be starting to, I guess, building blocks na lang ito for next season para dito sa Manila team.
There, see the numbers.
And look at the numbers. Ironically, you have Alan Mangahas in your team for Manila, but look at the fast break points. Just 5 points versus that of 16 by Iloilo. But you know, bench points coming from the guys stepping up is something that's really done well for Manila, at least in their last game.
I would actually argue, ironically, 5 lang yung fast break points kahit na top scorer nila si Mark Yu,
Oh, yeah.
who loves to run
Right.
on the break. And so it is Manila versus GENSAN, as now we turn you over to Ken Pangilinan.
Live on the official MPBL Facebook page, YouTube channel, and MPTV Signal Channel 98. Let's meet the starters first for the GENSAN Warriors. Starting at shooting guard number 7, Kit Jimenez. Point guard number 9, Mark Cruz. Center number 5, Larry Rodriguez. Power forward number 40, Felix Apreco. And at small forward number 11, John Wilson. The head coach of GENSAN is Rich Alvarez, assisted by Vis Valencia, Jesus Ramon Pido, Peter Deligero, Apol Coronado, and Ronnie Menor. Assistant team manager Dennis Perez. Team manager is Berman Flores. And now the starting lineup for the Manila Stars 747 Sport. Starting at small forward number 26, Tata Bautista. Power forward number 20, Che Yutuk. Center number 10, Maki Acosta. Shooting guard number 17, Mark Yu. And at point guard number 4, Alan Mangahas. The head coach of Manila is Pam Ledesma, assisted by Tylon Darwan, Bimbo Tangkilio, Johan Dumlao, and Maman Ulit. Team manager Richard Castro, general team manager Adol Salazar, head of basketball operations Ryan Ripalda, team governor Cesar Brancao, and team owner is Raymond Ang. Our referees for this ball game, Ben Joyce Conga, Jay Castroverde.
Welcome back, by the way, to Coach Bam Ledesma para sa Manila Stars. You see the starters? We have Kit Jimenez, Mark Cruz, Larry Rodriguez, John Wilson, and Felix Apreco for the Warriors. And then it's Alan Mangahas, Mark Yu, Maki Acosta, Tata Bautista, and Jay Yutuk for the Manila Stars. We thank you for joining us. This is Nix Gomez at your service alongside Coach Mike Perez and Sheila Salaysay. Coach Mike, I'd like you to share your thoughts about this 3-guard rotation of GENSAN. Ito na yung nakakasanayan natin. John Wilson with Mark Cruz, automatic yan. Pero si Kit Jimenez yung kanilang third part as Rodriguez scores inside.
Well, I think they're very complementary to each other, especially with, again, yung definition ng role nitong si Kit Jimenez. You know, walang overlapping dun sa tatlong yun. Eh. You know, John Wilson's gonna be a shooter, Mark could be the point guard, and the Kit could be the one creating off dribble penetration. So yun yung versatility that we were talking about. If this continues to be a really good play for Kit Jimenez. And look at that, first rebound again for Kit.
Let's see if he can get another triple-double here in the MPBL. Larry Rodriguez having trouble with his left shoe as Wilson misfired. Hindi na nakahabol si Larry.
Tinesting lang niya kasi last time, unang tira niya dito sa venue na to, pasok agad.
Oo, si John Wilson, no?
Yep.
Wilson, let's check his stats in the previous outing. Madali lang naman ma-locate yan. 23 points, 6 3-pointers for John here in Muntinlupa. And now here's a 3 coming from Maki Acosta.
Yeah, he's one of those guys really that they're gonna be counting on from the outside. And then they're gonna be building again for the next season. Maki's gonna be a key piece too.
As Kit Jimenez misses on the other end. I did ask itong si Tata Bautista. Kayo yung napuntang Iloilo tsaka Bacolod. So, bonding moment yun, di ba?
Yeah.
Sabi ko, kumusta naman? Ano yung pinaka nag-improve? Sabi niya, yung bonding daw ng mga matatanda dun sa mga bata. Yun.
Kaya nakita ko nga sa sa social media. I think they were riding a tricycle going to the
Oo, di ba?
Those guys were having fun doing that.
And I tell you, Coach, that really is the ultimate MPBL experience. We've seen some posts, some stories na nasa jeep, yung mga players.
Right.
Kaya nga liga ng bawat Pilipino eh.
Correct.
As Maki Acosta misses, here comes Mark Cruz. On to Kit Jimenez. Tough layup. Wow.
So a little more active offensively itong si Kit. Looking for the runouts, looking for those rebounds. He's already had 2 attempts already in this game.
That's the second three-pointer of Manila. Talking about Kit Jimenez, it's pretty amazing that no one reacted to that layup anymore of Kit. Kasi normal na sa kanila yun.
Yeah.
But if anybody else would do that, we would be on our feet.
Yeah. And he's that good na, expected na yan eh. That's Kit Jimenez. Expected na yun. Wala nang ibang reaction pa because you know how versatile and how, creative and athletic Kit Jimenez could be, especially in the open floor.
Baseline inbound, John Wilson on the pull-up. He gets the bounce.
Slowly ito si John, you cannot not guard him from the outside, lalo na within the perimeter range. That's a walking bucket right there for John Wilson. Strong move.
So the foul was on Felix Aprecu. To your point about John Wilson being an automatic bucket, we've talked about his shooting form na mahirap paspalpal, no? As we present to you this exceptional pass of the game brought to you by Boracay de la Ia, the official hotel and resort of the MPBL. Nice feed to the nice finish of Kit Jimenez. But back to John Wilson. Na kakwentuhan ko nga si Nico Elorde kanina, no? Sabi niya, minsan si John nakakagulat yung shot selection niya eh. Kasi sa sobrang taas ng kumpiyansa niya, kontra-tiyempo minsan, magulat ka lang, natitira na lang at papasok.
He always takes that opportunity. At saka yung confidence level, yun ang nagbibigay sa kanya na to hoist it anywhere on the floor.
Just not there in the previous sequence as he turned the ball over, leading to the 2 points of Jay Yuto.
Yep. This open floor basketball, katulad nga sabi natin, last game nila, they only had, 5 points on the fast break?
That's Manila.
Oh, Manila. But right now, medyo active sila out in the open floor, looking always to leak out and run and push that rock.
Well, they do have Mark Cruz. Oh, sorry, Mark Yu. Mark Cruz makes a three-pointer. And Mark Yu is really known for running the floor.
But, if you have Mark Cruz and Kit Jimenez and John Wilson, starting off really hot in the first quarter of this game, you got to be coming out and closing out on those defense outside. You should open up that lane for the bigs.
The score right now is 9-all with 6.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Mark Yu in and out, rebound Daddy. And here comes Mark Cruz.
Look at how they space the open floor. Everybody's just running wide, and they do that because you have shooters on the floor.
Missed by Wilson, put back for Larry Rodriguez.
And, yung mga coaches ngayon really would tell you, if you run a fast break, you have to run wide. And the only way you can do that is if you have shooters. This is exactly what GENSAN has been doing. They're trying to run wide so that the lane is open for middle penetrations to be done.
No shooter needed there as Jay Yutuk scores inside off of the feed of Mark Yu, I believe. Not Tata Bautista. 11-all is the score. Behind the back. Mark Cruz to Kit Jimenez. Back to Cruz. Turnover. Forward pass. Ayan. Yan ang hinahanap natin mula sa Manila.
Actually, magandang combination to si Alan Mangas tsaka si Mark Yu right there for the guard spot because, Mark can learn a lot from Alan and he could share a lot too dito sa young player natin si Mark.
And we know that he can trust the passing ability of Alan Mangas. Kahit anong outlet pass pa yan, kaya ibigay ni Alan yan.
Yup, exactly. Iba rin ang vision ni Alan Mangas eh.
4 on the shot clock. Kit Jimenez. Way off. Not the best execution there from GENSAN.
A little bit relaxed on that last possession. GENSAN. But I'm sure things are gonna heat up here as we see Mark Yu on that clear finish out running Kit Jimenez. But again, half of that's got to be a good pass outlet by Alan Mangas.
By the way, I'd like to point out that Coach Rich Alvarez has a cup on his hand. He's casually drinking at the sideline. I'm not sure if I've seen that in the MPBL before. Yung may hawak na inumin, umiinom lang siya habang nagko-coach.
Parang nasa garden lang sa bahay nila, nanonood sa LED, parang ganun.
Again, he's the chillest coach that we have in the league.
Oh, yeah. I think this combo of Coach Viz and him, medyo chill talaga yung dalawa.
Turnover. Dumulas ang bola mula sa mga kamay ni Mark Yu. It's 13-11, under 4.5 minutes in the first. Jason Mancao, Nico Elorde, and Pig Masaglang are about to check in No surprise there. Mark Cruz. Cross court to Kit Jimenez. Good look, but he faked.
Oh, wow.
And he passed that ball inside behind the back to Felix Aprecu.
Minsan napapapanboy na lang mga pasahan dito. And you see that skip pass, triple penetrate, behind the back with the left hand.
Yes, with the left hand.
The left hand, that's the point.
Ooh. Everybody was walking on that sequence.
I think si Acosta is actually looking to post up, and so that pass. Look at this one, behind the back with the left, and Apreco, all he could do was finish going glass.
How about the flashiness of Kit Jimenez, not only in scoring but passing as well.
And it was between two defenders too.
And now let's go to Sheila Salaysay for this report.
Coach Rich Alvarez feels uneasy going against Manila. He knows that their roster is heavy at hindi nila alam ano ang ilalaro ng Stars looking at some of their previous matches. Although the Warriors continue to rise winning 3 straight wins, he does not want to complicate things. Alam nila na maraming magagaling na teams pa at hindi sila pwedeng maging kampante. He also wants his team to withstand the pressure, always go hard, win, and build momentum to secure a top spot because he is eyeing for a bonus, a home court game in the finals. Playoffs rather, Mix.
Well, there you have it. Home court advantage was something that GENSAN missed last year. They actually were supposed to have home court advantage, but due to logistical reasons, hindi po natuloy yun, no? They had neutral territory in the first round as Larry Rodriguez drains a mid-range jumper.
Yeah, just free-flowing here on that last offensive set para sa GENSAN. Just getting the open man up top and seeing him open up. And how about this dish inside? You front Larry Rodriguez, you're gonna pay with that over the head pass.
Now the score is 17-13. Rodriguez signature mid-range. Hindi na masyadong tatalon si Larry. Automatic na yan para sa veterano ng GENSAN. We'll be back. Alright, so today we are in Muntinlupa. Yesterday we were in Pampanga for Mindoro, beating Bulacan by 13. Caloocan dominating against Quezon City. And then Pampanga able to win by only 6 points against the Parañaque Patriots, which could be a bit impressive for Parañaque. If you're Pampanga, obviously you really wanted that bounce back win after losing to Makati.
Exactly, and you know, early in that game, lumalamang pa nga ang Parañaque, but really just a 17-point lead in the latter part of the game made it difficult for Parañaque to even come back.
Right now it is GENSAN versus Manila. 17-13 is the score. Jason Mancao escapes and misses. Mancao is being joined by Archie Salo, Kyle Napes, James Mangahas, and Alan Mangahas. Kabila naman, it's Nico Elorde, Larry Rodriguez, Enzo Hoson, Afer Mondragon, and Ping Masaglang. Nice cut by Enzo. Feed to Larry Rodriguez.
Yan ang maganda sa GENSAN. I mean, you know, you got ball movement, you have man movement with players with very high IQ, embrace their role in the system. Yun ang lalabas dyan. Everybody just, you know, not wanting to get the credit, and this is about a team game.
Well, you really have to be happy about Enzo Hoson in that sequence because the narrative for him in the season is he's coming in as the #1 scorer last year from the Marikina Shoe Masters. He is the one who had to buy into the system, you know, among all of these players of GENSAN. Obviously, he has struggled transitioning into the small forward position, but for him to be able to show his skills while being able to move off of the ball, that's such a big testament to him.
Agree. And, you know, for a player to be buying in the system of Coach Rich speaks highly of, you know, the kind of culture that the GENSAN team has. And I want to go back to that report by Sheila kanina na, you know, yung mga star players niya, he acknowledges na, you know, it's a problem eventually, pero that's a good problem.
Oh yeah,
it's a very good problem. I'm sure a lot of the other coaches would want to have that problem.
Oh
but
my.
Kung sabay-sabay yan na mag-flourish, you know, that's gonna be such a team that you don't want to go up against come the playoffs.
Well, we've always talked about depth as a team here in the MPBL at hindi lang naman GENSAN ang ganito kalalim. In their division alone, Bacoor, Zamboanga, they're very deep as Masaglang gives that ball up to Afer Mondragon inside.
Yeah, and so it's a matter of who meshes better. And
Yeah.
who's got that really good performance come the latter part of the tournament.
The other team in the mix is Batangas. Actually, pwede pa isama yung Quezon dyan, no? As we see an alley from Mangahas onto Kyle Lapis. Batangas lang yung medyo naiiba sa narrative kasi they might not have the biggest names, pero chemistry yung kanilang advantage.
Yeah, and you know, that's a very high culture team when you talk about Batangas. I mean, those guys, just like GENSAN, embrace their roles, know their system, have a lot of confidence in Coach Cholo and the coaching staff. Kaya ganun, you know, you're still able to bring out the best in these players from Batangas.
Folks, if you do not know as of yet, tomorrow it will be Batangas versus Bacoor in Bacoor. Pero sa ngayon, sa Muntinlupa muna tayo. Jason Mancao in trouble. He misses inside.
Just not enough lift on that shot. Medyo nag-hesitate rin siya going the baseline part.
21-15, Masaglang with the cross court. Hoson, up top to Nico Elorde with his family now watching at the sideline. Dumating na sina Mitch Del Carmen, Elorde and company. Charge.
And I sure hope the cousin Alec Elorde is...
Andi na ba?
No, wala. It's not.
Wala kang binati. See what happened here. The charge by Hafer Mondragon.
Oh yeah, didn't get enough step.
That's good defense by Archie Sala, who is known to be a defensive guard for the Manila Stars. 15 seconds tayo. 21-15. Allen to James. Mid-range. In and out. Rebound. Masaglang with 7 seconds remaining. Bing behind the back. Onto the corner. Hoson will fire. Too strong, and that will do it for our first 10 minutes of play.
And so far been, you know, really close game right here. A little bit relaxed for both of the teams, but things should start heating up come the second and the third and the fourth quarter here. And GENSAN's really just been doing all the right things, especially out in the open floor. Marked with that beautiful finish by Kit Jimenez. We're not surprised anymore with that kind of ending on open floor for Kit. But Mark Yu and the rest of the gang of Manila continues to be keeping in stride against the GENSAN.
Now the question is, can they actually be consistent at this and find themselves in good position to try to steal a game against the Warriors? It's 21-15 after 1. Babalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino, coming to you live from the Muntinlupa Sports Center, the cage as we call it in the MPBL. This is Mix Gomez alongside Coach Mike Perez and Sheila Salaysay for Manila versus GENSAN. The score reached 21-15 after 1. Coach Mike, ang ating percentages.
Yeah, 55% and 37% for GENSAN and Manila respectively. A lot of open floor action for Manila, but they really just couldn't convert for the most part. You know, expect numbers to be even better, lalo na para dito sa GENSAN.
Enzo Hoson will answer back to the three-pointer of Kyle Lapis.
Yeah, you see that comfort level in playing para dito kay Hoson. And yun na-mention mo nga kanina, him buying on the system and again, doing what his role is supposed to be for GENSAN.
I had a conversation about him and his minutes in this season. Kasi syempre, last year, isa yun sa mga pinakagamit eh. And he shared to me what Coach Rich Alvarez is trying to practice with him, no? As Alan Mangahas fires and misses. And it's the mindset na kapag matupad nga ang pangarap ni Enzo na makapaglaro sa PBA as Alan Mangahas escapes for this layup, Enzo will have to expect that he will not have many minutes in the PBA. Siyempre, makikihalubilo siya sa mga veterano ng liga, no? And because of that, ang plano ni Coach Rich sa kanya is for him to get used to being in spurts in the court. Dito pa lang sa MPBL so that he can be efficient with that limited playing time of his. And then, kapag efficient siya dun sa opening minutes niya, dun siya marereward ni Coach Rich ng succeeding minutes.
That's right. And again, it goes back to what Coach Rich was mentioning, no? You play good, you stay on the floor, no? And you know, you give that quality minutes, yung spurts na yun, pwedeng lumaki na lumaki.
Right. Who was our courtside last week? Was it Mika? Yeah, it was Mika.
Mika, right.
She reported about the honesty system. Naalala mo yun?
Right.
As Jerby Cruz scores inside with his left hand. And it looks like that honesty system of Coach Rich Alvarez continues to pay off. He's 9-1 in the season, by the way. Imagine if he actually started.
Right.
Kung gaano ka developed na yung kanyang core with GENSAN.
Right. And itong si Jerby Cruz for the last 7 days. This is the third time I'm seeing Jerby Cruz. 2 of them in games here. The other one being in my son's game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his son, Mark Jerby's son, actually played against the team of Riley.
Your son?
Yeah, my son.
Wow! By the way, nag-birthday yung anak mo, di ba?
Yeah, last week yung eldest.
Yung eldest naman. Happy birthday to him.
Thank you.
Gusto ko yung kung usapang daddy duties, ang kapantayan ni Jerby Cruz, ikaw, Coach Mike.
Hindi na lang kami nakapag-usap that time because, you know, we were both busy attending to our sons, you know, coaching them, so to speak, after the game.
Kamusta si Jerby bilang coach/tatay?
Well, as a dad, he's very silent right there.
Really?
He's really, you know, parang surrenders everything to the coach and understands. I see Coach Mark Lopez is the one actually coaching that team.
Mark
from
Lopez.
UP.
Yeah, from UP. From the Manila Stars before.
Yeah. So it's a Mark Lopez team in that tournament, the South Beach Classics. And he's the coach. And si Jerby talagang tahimik lang, pinanonood lang.
There's the pass from Jerby Cruz onto Delmar Mahaling. Yung testament mo about Jerby, minsanan lang yan Usually kasi pag tatay na player o coach, madaldal talaga
Yeah.
Nasasapawan nga minsan yung totoong head coach.
Jerby was really just there watching his kid, and after the game talks to him and tells him different There's this one scene, tinawag niya yung anak niya Akala ko pagagalitan, sinimtas yun sa
Talaga? Wow.
He was down on his knees, putting on the laces of his son.
Hindi ko alam kung ganun ba siya ka-loving father or ka-spoiled yung anak niya sa lagay na yon.
I think he's really just a loving dad because yung anak niya is, you know, it's very silent on the floor. Much like kind of the demeanor of a Jerby.
There's the silent demeanor of Jerby Cruz with a silent pass onto Delmar Mahaling. The score now is 30-20 in the second frame. Nico Elorde, pass inside, back to Mahaling.
Well, Mahaling's been going to those open spots, making those right cuts, and he's going to be rewarded. Look at here, 11 and 8 assist advantage, +3 para sa GENSAN. So long as Mahaling's getting to those open spots and moving his body, we're gonna get that rock and he's gonna get those points.
Timeout tayo. 12-point game. See the next 3 games for the Manila Stars. They will take on Zamboanga on August 14. And then FIBA World Cup break sila. Balik to take on Bulacan on September 12, Laguna on September 22. After those 3 games, isang beses na lang natin makikita ang Manila Stars. They will take on the Rizal Golden Coolers before they end their campaign in the 5th season of the MPBL.
Yeah, most of the teams right now are down to their 5-6 games in their 28 game schedule for the season.
Which is pretty crazy to think about, no? Na natapos na natin ulit yun. Ganun kahabang season. But again, folks, we will have a break from August 25 to September 10 so that we can support the FIBA World Cup. After that, balik tayo. First game back in Zamboanga for the rematch of last year's finalists. Zamboanga versus Nueva Ecija. Jerby Cruz gets fouled inside.
And he's just really got that knack for those offensive rebounds. No, the glass has almost been an office dito kay Jervy Cruz, and even the medium range jumpers. He waits for his attempts on the outside. If he's not free, somebody takes the shot. He's gonna go in and get those glass boards.
He really plays like a veteran. No?
Yeah.
No other way to put it. The game has definitely slowed down on a very high level for Jervy. He's up to 4 points. No, 3 points with a rebound and an assist.
And I think it's the economy of motion para dito kay Jervy. You know, trying to conserve as much energy as he can. Very efficient on his movements on the floor. And, you know, it just gives him more time to be more efficient performance for GENSAN.
To your point, that's what makes it even more interesting for Jervy come the playoffs. Kasi mag-iiba na yung pagko-conserve ni Coach Rich sa mga veterano niya. Pukpukan na tayo sa playoffs, so it will only make us wonder how many minutes Jervy Cruz will see in the postseason. Jay Yutok, his shot got blocked. Kabila tayo. Mark Cruz, back to one of his best friends, John Wilson. Post up, turn around, pull up, in and out. And there was a pushing foul. It's on Mahaling.
Yeah, hindi pumasok yung tira na yun ni John Wilson. But when you look at the three players on that side of the floor, Mark Cruz up top, John Wilson on the wing, and you've got Jervy Cruz at the post. I mean, that already is an action in itself that you can, you know, potently a lot of offensive opportunities for GENSAN.
Now Enzo Hoson has sat down. Balik dito si Kit Jimenez. So extended minutes para kay Enzo. So far in this game, yung sinasabi natin, magandang simula ni Enzo, he will be rewarded with more playing time.
At saka it gives Coach Rich even more versatility on the rotation.
There was another foul on the rebound sequence. It's on John Wilson. That's why he's very surprised, as he usually is.
I was gonna say that. He's rarely surprised.
Usually naman ganyan yan eh.
Pag pumita, parang alam mo yung reaction.
Automatic yan. Magreklamo na yan si John. Baseline inbound.
Parang he's never fouled anyone.
Totoo.
Parang ganun eh.
I hate to say it, but he seems to be the player who complains the most in the MPBL. You can't blame him as well, obviously. Marami nang napagdaanan yan si John. Mataas ng standards yan. MVP na rin yan dito sa ating liga. Wow, that's not good defense. No one closed out on Mark Cruz. Luckily, he missed that shot. Minagyakapan.
Yeah.
It's Mahaling and Acosta on the floor.
But you love that activity of Mahaling. Talagang going for those glass, getting to those open spots. He's just a man out there playing his role.
On the 4-on-4 situation, Mark Yu makes the most out of it.
Yeah, hindi madali yung layup na yun kay Mark Yu because you have Kit Jimenez right there on the low block trying to defend. And he just was able to see that gap.
Signature. Too strong for Jervy. Rebound, Marlon Espiritu. Under 4 minutes in the second. Espiritu surveying. Mark Yu asking for that ball. Hindi binigay sa kanya. Screen. Espiritu to Yutok. Shot clock is at 7. Mark Yu. Steal. Everything was too slow for Manila the previous possession.
Yeah, exactly. And not much man movement. Everybody just waiting for that ball to go to their hands.
John Wilson, screen up top. He pulls up. There you go. It's so hard to defend him.
I told you, hindi na pumasok yung tila kanina, but that's his shot, right?
Yeah.
On the move, on the perimeter, high probability that's gonna go in for John Wilson.
Wilson is actually having some fun with the Makati players na nanonood sa gilid-gilid, no?
Oh,
Siyempre, mga rival niya yung mga yan. And former teammates as well. Jervy Cruz, so Delmar Mahaling.
When you talk about execution out in the open floor and the unselfish culture of GENSAN, that's just about what you're gonna get. Defense on one end, Kit pushes that rock, gets it out in the open floor, the pass and another hockey pass, Mahaling just finishing right there for GENSAN. Beautiful basketball right there.
That's what makes Kit Jimenez even more effective now. He can turn defense into offense just as fast as that. Then the passing ability of Jervy Cruz that we have talked about all season long, kaya taas ng tiwala sa kanya ng teammates na. Delmar Mahaling is having himself a good afternoon.
Exactly. And you know, if you have that fourth guy running with them on the floor out in the open, hindi pinanonood lang si John at si Jervy at si Mark. I mean, very, very dangerous in the open floor yung team na yan, GENSAN.
And guess what? Kate Jimenez had his first Best Player of the Game award against Valenzuela. We might see another of the same pattern today in Mahaling, who just got the steal. Jimenez on the run. Jimenez all the way.
Well, as of this point, almost equal attack here by Kit Jimenez on all the top 3 stats. Points, rebounds, and assists. I think he's building another case here. 20-7 scoring in the quarter here in favor for GENSAN, and things that really just slowed down for Manila.
Fast break story natin. Hindi naman kalayuan. 96. As Kyle Nepes makes a 3. And as usual, he kisses onto the crowd.
Well, the good thing is Manila's got 1 point above their fast break points from the last game. They got 6. The previous one was 5. No?
The problem is right now, it's not piling up well for them. It's going GENSAN's way. What a feed! Larry Rodriguez, what a sorry miss for Mahaling.
Minsan yung mga ganung pasa yung talagang manghihinayang tayo. No?
Oo, pasok na eh.
Yep.
Just rolled out. Mangahas, nice fake. 2 free throws.
The craftiness of Alan Mangahas, really. I mean, I've never seen a guy dribble the ball so low.
Yeah.
Parang ang feeling mo yung reach niya abot dun sa paa niya. You know? It's even way below the knees when he puts that ball on the floor.
Yeah.
Dribbles it so close to his feet, way below his knee, kaya mahirap siyang maagawan eh.
And he's not the fastest player. Obviously, kontra yung timing ni Alan compared to most point guards in the league.
Tsaka yung hesitation niya, yung biglang titigil ng saglit, it gives him that vision to be steady and to see, you know, am I gonna pass or am I gonna shoot?
That's a testament, right, to the game slowing down.
Yeah.
The hesitation is such a big indication of that.
Look at that inside points, 26 versus 12. Well, a lot of it really is because the cuts from the inside and even the fast break opportunities. Another pain point here for Mahaling.
Delmar Mahaling wants a Best Player of the Game award. And it looks like his teammates and coaches want the same for him.
I think he's gonna be active on rebounds now to get a double.
Kailangan, no? Kailangan eh.
Yeah, he's what, 4 rebounds or 3? 3 rebounds.
3. Layo-layo pa. Still a lot of time though.
Yeah.
Tata Bautista to Kyle Nepes straight away. Short. Nice effort by Julius Manalo. He almost got the steal.
Boy, that shot by Kyle Nepes didn't go in. But if you go back to the days when these guys at their prime, Acosta, Nepes, and Alan Mangahas were playing all together, you love those pick and pop actions with those two guys.
Sama pa si Tata Bautista dyan
Correct.
as John Wilson now celebrates as he continues to communicate with the Makati OK Bet Kings. There you see them.
Yeah.
Oh, just so you guys know, nagkampi po yung mga yan sa Davao.
Okay.
And then kalaban niya dati, of course, Davao versus San Juan here in the MPBL. Balik tayo sa Manila. Alan Mangahas. Drive. Feed. Tata. From the corner. Nice setup, but a sorry miss. Alan. His turn. Oh! That's not one-handed. That was one-legged. From downtown for Alan Mangahas. But there's John Wilson on the escape.
This game's getting a little bit more animated here with these baskets by John Wilson and Alan Mangahas. How about that one-legger in the corner, though?
Not sure if that was on purpose. Because he actually had time to plant his feet, right?
Yeah. Maybe he's just showing off.
Pwede.
That's a new skill that I gained.
Let's see. You be the judge.
Look at, he was actually trying to avoid the sideline. Yeah, kaya nakalift.
So paatras pala.
Paatras, yeah, right.
There you have it. There's the leak out. Ang bilis ng sagot ni John Wilson. And so that will do it for our first half here in Muntinlupa. Just pure domination in the second quarter for the GENSAN Warriors. They were able to score 27 and they allowed 15.
Yeah, not the ball and man movement there. Look at Larry Rodriguez, 10 points, going 5 out of 6 from the field, 5 rebounds on the way. And, it's really just been him getting to those open spots and being recognized by his guards.
Sa lagay na yun, nakagawa pa ng double figures, no? Si Larry, very quiet. And now, we present to you, this might just be one of the most special top 10 plays that we've had in the history of the MPBL. Watch it, folks.
Kapag may labay nagkakaisa
Parang Wednesday pa lang, mix kumpleto na yung top 10 natin. J-Bar gives us a nasty jam.
What a show.
We have seen 8 dunks in this game already. That might just be 8 out of your 10 plays. Boy Aktub already has 5.
And now it's Imo's putting a dunking show. It was Pampanga before that did this.
In the history of the MPBL,
Oh.
that is. One last quarter to go. Miss there, Boy with the board. Here he comes. Ooh, this time it's Decano with his version of a slam. We have seen 8 dunks in this game already. That might just be 8 out of your 10 plays in the upcoming top 10 plays of the week. There you see the first one for Decano, who is also a product of St. Clair, working with Coach Gino Manansala.
Number 1 play dito sa ating liga na.
In the history of the MPBL,
Oh.
that is. Decano with a second slam in this game. Coach Gino is just having fun. The second one, this time the pass came from Joseph Viñaredondo. That's Aaron Decano with 2 slams to go alongside Poy's 5 and Jmar's 1. 101 to 54.
Says that inside point scoring at 100 plus.
Yes, tama yun. It happened in Bulacan as Jmar gives us a nasty jam. Wow. Well, that totally caught us off guard. We've been waiting for him to dunk that ball.
Parang Wednesday pa lang, mix kumpleto na yung top 10 natin.
Kaya nga eh. We would like to extend our sincerest apologies to Renz Alcuriza because he's once again a part of an MPBL slam dunk poster. Previously with Marquis and now with Jmar Gipayan. Ball recovered by Benson Sebastian. Single.
Parang si Benson na lang talaga.
Uh-oh! Clear the runway! There it is! Slam dunk for Boy Aktub!
Oh, so we were talking about that. With authority.
This was the steal, leading to the breakaway for Boy. That is slam dunk number 1 in this game. And then, as you take a look at another angle of that first slam dunk, he had another opportunity afterwards. It all happened so fast to the delight of the crowd. Runs Yuzon, no basket. Poy's on the run. Here he is once more. Poy, back-to-back slams!
Here.
It has been a Poy Aktub show here inside the Imo City Sports Complex. This time coming from the right side, still one-handed on the rise, but it is still as graceful on the finish.
Okay, we've seen it on sideways lang. Kung makikita mo yan from behind, yung finish na yon, doon mo makikita yung lift ni Popoy Aktub. He should cherish also the experience na he's playing alongside, na pwede niya maging mentor in terms of finishing strong in the basket. Etong si Popoy Aktub.
Oh, nice save off of the block. Poy! Yes, sir! Folks, this is just a regular basketball game. This is not a slam dunk competition. But boy, has it been the Poy Aktub show tonight.
Oh, and you mentioned it. You mentioned it big time, Migs, na this game can turn out to be a slam dunk game.
That's 3 dunks in just 2 minutes for Poy Aktub, and the Imo crowd would gladly take that. I actually believe that he can jump even higher than that.
Oo.
I've seen it in their warm-ups. Possible contestants for the dunk contest. That would definitely include this guy, Poy! Clear the runway!
And that's what we're waiting, that two-handed dunk.
So meron ng one-handed, meron ng two-handed. Ano kaya ang susunod? Take a look at this breakaway. Once again for Poy Aktub. The crossover at the last second leading to the two-handed jam.
What a finish. And hindi tayo pinahiya ni Poy Aktub.
This is his best game so far in this young MPBL series. Tapo. RC again. This time he drives. No layup, no basket. Kabila. Poy! Yes, sir!
There you go.
A windmill this time around from Poy Aktub.
Now, this will give problems to our kung sino yung magko-compile ng mga dunks ni Poy Aktub in this game. And isang two-handed slam, tapos isang windmill.
So what more can he offer? How about that? Had a record-setting night in terms of dunks in a game by an individual. Poy Aktub already has 5! Make it 6! But that was the first one on the half-court set. So now we also have 9 total dunks in this basketball game. That is the new MPBL team record for most dunks in an outing, of course. Poy, by the way, is here we go!
What you can appreciate on that one, check on where he takes the took off.
Grabe, ang layo ng take-off no na Migs. Ala Yanis no?
Oo.
Ala Jordan as well. He took off from the line just ahead of the free throw line. He will finish with 10 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, and 31 big points as he establishes the new MPBL record for most dunks by an individual in a game. He had 7 tonight.
And he should appreciate the opportunity that was given to him by his squad, and especially his coach, itong si Gino Manansala, and maybe a start of something good for Aktub in this in his young MPBL career.
70% efficiency from the field.
What a show. What a show. What a game.
Nasaksihan nyo ang ating top 10 plays of the week. Kasama na dyan si Poy Aktub, kumbaga ang kanyang highlights with the most number of dunks made in a game. 7 po yan, to be exact. At ngayon, diretso naman tayo sa halftime. Here with me is Assistant Coach of Manila, Coach Bam Ledesma, and of course, Sir Merman Flores, the team manager of GENSAN. Pero punta muna ako kay Coach Bam. Coach Bam, you only have a few remaining games left. So how do you make the most of it?
Well, of course, you still want to represent and compete. This is one of the staple of the MPBL is that every team needs to represent not just the city, also the organization, and you still have to be professional. And of course, even if technically we're out of the playoffs, you still have to be represent your city and your organization well, and compete every game until the very last game.
Love the optimism, Coach. Then, meron ba kayong mga pasasalamatan? Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. First, we have to thank number one, of course, yung 747 Live, especially to Sir Luigi, Sir Enrico, Sir Michael, and Sir Tim, Kohisa, Agile Sports Clinic, Miss Kate Brios of Metro N Bacolod, General James Brillantes, Colonel Joresi Coronica, City of Gold, Girally on Facebook, and all supporters of the MPBL, especially of the Manila Stars and 747 Sport.
Maraming salamat. Thank you, Coach Bam. Sir Merman, you are on the 3rd spot of the rankings for the South Division. Ngayon, paano nyo ba ma-secure yung top spot niya at papunta sa playoffs?
Mahirap sabihin na i-secure, no? Kasi we can only do our best. Kasi you don't know who's, kahit na number 1 ka sa division, you can still get eliminated sa playoff. So it doesn't really matter kung ano yung spot mo.
Titingnan natin. Good luck for today's game. Meron ka bang mga babatian?
Yes, we would like to thank our sponsors, Reden Sportswear, Iconic Motor Sales, AJF, and Jinky Skin. And we'd like to thank lahat ng mga sumusuporta na nanonood ngayon na nasa GENSAN, ang aming mayora, si Lorely Pacquiao, Congressman Bobby Pacquiao, and Governor Joel Pacquiao. Salamat po sa mga suporta nyo at salamat sa lahat ng mga nanonood. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Merman, and good luck again. And tuloy-tuloy pa rin aksyon sa pagitan ng GENSAN at Manila sa pagbabalik yan ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
MPBL na! Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao, MPBL na. Yan ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao. Sa Luzon, sa Visayas, at Mindanao. MPBL, Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Sumasaya kapag may Sila ba'y nagkakaisa? Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na.
We are coming back to you live from the Muntinlupa Sports Center for GENSAN and Manila. The score reads 48-30 in favor of the Warriors. Let's talk about the first half. What happened there, Coach Mike?
Well, a lot of open floor opportunities and just a very fluid GENSAN team, shooting 53% from the field versus that of 35 para sa Manila. Well, primarily because they got out-rebounded 21-13, and which led to assists out in the open floor. But it's a +7 in favor of GENSAN. And again, points in the paint. It's 30 versus 12. Just, getting inside the shaded area, almost untouched para dito sa GENSAN.
Just pure domination from the Warriors, especially in the second quarter. 27-15 was the scoring. The top scorer was Larry Rodriguez. We featured him before halftime. We didn't even notice.
Yeah.
He was already able to perform like that. But now, the interesting thing about GENSAN is that they will begin with their second unit in the third quarter.
And that should pull up some more itong bench points. They're actually led in the first half, 20-8. Well, those points coming from Mahaling and Jervy Cruz, primarily from the bench of GENSAN.
It's already missed right there for Haffer Mondragon. So now we go Manila's way. It's Alan Mangahas with his Kuya James, Tata Bautista, Maki Acosta, and Kyle Napes, which is basically their Laguna 5.
Yeah, right.
Alan met by Enzo Hoson. To the corner, no closeout. Short for James, rebound Enzo. Hoson has been playing well in this game.
Yep, and he's very comfortable, like what I said earlier, either shooting or pushing that rock in the open floor.
It won't necessarily reflect on his statistics, though. It's not as dominant as it was last year for Marikina, but his overall impact has been well felt by GENSAN. Now, Nico Elorde makes a three-pointer.
Yeah, and I think more importantly, parang dito kay Hoson is, he's very comfortable. Like what I said, alam niya kung ano yung gagawin niya, ano expected sa kanya, and he's given those minutes.
And if I still may continue to talk about Enzo Hoson, as Alan Mangahas passes that ball onto Maki Acosta. But back to Enzo. I asked him, dahil nga mababa na yung statistics mo as compared to last year, ano na lang yung tinitignan mo sa stat sheet? And he said, plus minus.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best development that you can have in terms of mindset. He's currently a +10 in this game.
Yeah, and for you to be able to do the plus minus, you really have to play both ends of the floor. You got to score on one end and stop them from scoring. So, that's really how you do it. And kaya magandang indicator rin yan ng performance ng mga players,
The only players who have a better plus-minus compared to Enzo right now are Nico Elorde and Pig Masaglang, who are both at a +12, as Kyle Napes makes another three-pointer.
That's his 11th point of the game for Kyle, and he really is a guy that can shoot it from the outside. Lalo na pag tinandem mo to kay Acosta.
Parehong stretch 4 eh.
Yep.
But that's a problem in itself. Dahil pareho silang stretch 4.
Wala sa loob.
natural
Wala
big
sa
man.
loob, right?
There's Kyle who misses inside. Forward pass, Pig Masaglang on the touchdown play.
Yun naman bigat, no? I like Ping Masaglang right. He's holding on to his right foot here. I like how he's really very active. Once that shot goes up and he knows that this is gonna be a miss, immediate leak out right there. And how about using that rim to protect his shot? And James really just touching him on the way to the rack.
Masaglang just seems to be solidifying himself as one of the most underrated players in the MPBL. Sana nga, hindi na ganun yung kaso kasi consistent na siya eh.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, the depth of this lineup of GENSAN, I feel is peaking at the right time.
Okay.
Everybody's just, getting into that groove, understanding, this is me. This is me in the system, and this is what I can contribute. And so, if you have that now, and you pinag-uusapan natin kanina si Keith Jimenez, everybody just going on that next level as we head into the latter part of the season.
Unfortunately, Masaglang really seems to be hurt right now after that sequence on his layup. So John Wilson, of all people, yung former MVP lang naman yung papalit sa kanya. So it's 54 to 35, and let's hope that Pasanglang will be okay. 7 minutes and 20. Pass to James, met by John. Mangahas, with 10 on the shot clock. Up top to Alan. Defended by Nico Elorde. Alan escapes and kicks. Kuya James for 3. Short. Rebound Nico.
A good pass though by Alan. He just couldn't make it to James.
Forward. Wow. Sorry, miss though for Happer Mandragon. That was a nice feed by Jervy Cruz.
You know what? It made it look very deceiving. Jervy, when he got that ball, was actually on a one dribble and looking at the rim. So defense thinks he's going to take a shot. The defense goes up, hands it off with the left hand.
Didn't he do that in the first half as well?
Yep.
Talino. Mondragon converts on his first gimme. That's 5 points and 4 rebounds now for Haffer. So dalawa sila ni Delmar Mahaling na nagpapakitang gilas.
Yep.
Pwede pa nga sila yung maglaban for best player.
And tsaka yung build and the way that they play, very similar itong dalawang to, a banger inside the paint, very active on the glass, can shoot from outside too.
It's now 56 to 35. This is the biggest lead. James Wangahas onto Tata Bautista, and by Nico Elorde. Up top, James for 3. Too strong. Nice box by Haffer.
Yeah, kaya they're getting out-rebounded kasi most of the guys right now playing with Alan Mangas are really stretch fours.
Nice play on the other end.
Yeah, nice play right there.
Enzo Hoson gave the basketball up to John Wilson, who rewarded Enzo with his unselfishness. Calculated very well right there was the pass by John Wilson. Enzo thought about passing that ball, but obviously he had a good path to the rim as well. Continues to play well for the Warriors in today's outing, and the lead has been extended to 23. You see the next 3 games for the GENSAN Warriors. They will take on Nueva Ecija up next on August 16. To my knowledge, that will happen in Caloocan. And then it's Bacolod on August 19. And then they will travel to Bataan on September 14 after the FIBA World Cup break. Their last 2 games will be against Sarangani and Batangas.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nice last game.
Yeah.
That might just spell home court advantage for both Batangas and GENSAN in the playoffs.
Yeah. And yung home court advantage niyan could be very telling in the playoffs. So you want to be able to earn that.
Sheila did talk about that as one of the goals of Coach Rich Alvarez as Enzo Hoson converts from downtown.
And the way that these guys are actually peeking from the outside and the unselfishness, you see it in everyone. I mean, John Wilson in the corner had a 3, passed it up for that dive on that pass. Wow.
You mentioned that you think GENSAN is peaking right now as Paki Acosta scores inside. And we've talked about Kit Jimenez being the best player last game. Now it's Enzo Hoson who's shining for GENSAN. And we have to point that one out because we already know the 2 duos. Diba? As Enzo Hoson gives us this 3-pointer. Yung duo nila John Wilson and Mark Cruz, constant na yan.
Correct.
Magkasama sa court yung dalawang yan. And then there you see a 2-pointer by Maki Acosta. Constant na rin yung Ping Masaglang at yung Nico Elorde. Yung nawawala ay yung Kit Jimenez at yung Enzo Hoson.
Correct.
Now they're finding their place.
Exactly. And so, sa lalim yan. I mean, I really feel that game against Batang Caloocan really brought them the best out of them.
Yeah.
Starting that game
Batang Kankalu?
Batang Kankalu, I think. When you played that, if I'm not mistaken, that was the one in Mindoro.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's when I felt na, these guys are gonna be very special pretty soon.
Kailangan mainitan pa talaga sila muna.
Oo
No? And then, as Jay Yutuk scores on the mid-range, they actually lost to San Juan. That's their only loss with Coach Rich Alvarez. As John Wilson misses, and Mahaling is fouled inside. So Delmar continues to be aggressive. I did ask Coach Rich Alvarez and Coach Viz Valencia during halftime, Coach, ang ganda ng nilalaro ni Delmar Mahaling. You're gonna use him a lot more in the second half. And he said, yes. And it's not just because of his performance in the first half. Practice pa lang daw, maganda na yung pinapakita niya this week, approaching this game versus Manila.
Which is really the right approach if you're a player. I mean, I think I mentioned that also before, that the great Tex Winters of the Triangle Offense, he always says that, you know, the classroom is the practice and your test is the game.
Yeah.
So if you fail, you got to go back to the classroom and do that in practice. And so if you're doing really good in the classroom, chances are you're going to pass the test.
Right? Simple as that. 62 to 40. Under 5 minutes in the third. Alan Mangahas again took his time. He fished for the foul off of Enzo Hosa. And I hope you saw the look on Enzo Hosa's face. Kasi alam niyang binibait lang siya eh.
And Alan was literally selling it.
Oo.
Nilako sa red.
Enzo wasn't even doing so much.
Yeah.
Mark Yu against Rico Elorde. Tough coverage there. Mark Yu still scores.
And Mark Yu just really has that upper body strength to be able to finish in contact. I mean, I've covered this guy before. He's very young back then, but you know, he's flourishing into the kind of player that he is right here. Look at that, banging bodies, finishing and going glass, staying in control all throughout.
I have to ask, where did you cover it?
In a Metro League. It's the PBA Metro League back then.
And how old was he back then?
That was pre-pandemic.
So ano naman like
2019, I guess.
Hindi naman ganun kabata. Kumbaga hindi high school, hindi grade
Oh yeah,
school.
hindi naman.
John Wilson scores on the mid-range. And so I ask you, kamusta yung development in Mark Yu in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, you know, no surprises from me. We already saw that there was something special with Mark Yu back then. I mean, the way that he's led that team and the way he's conducted himself is exactly what we're seeing now.
Mark Yu and Kit Jimenez. Sorry, Mark Cruz and Kit Jimenez. That's the second time na napagbaliktad ko yung dalawang player. So, bumalik na po yung dalawang GENSAN Warriors. Kyle Lopez on to Jay Utup. Poor close out by Mahaling. He got lost.
Yeah, definitely. He got lost. Lost that signal, lost the GPS.
Oh, yeah. Utup trims the lead down to 19, 64-45. Under 4 minutes in the third.
I guess that's the 9 point of Utup earlier.
Turnover. Mark Yu all the way.
So yun ang maganda kay Mark Yu eh. And you know, right in traffic, even in the open, he can actually create, has good handles and makes good decisions out there.
GENSAN swinging that ball around. Kit Jimenez, bounce to Larry. High-low, Mahaling lost the ball. That's the best start for Delmar in the second half.
Yeah.
Mark Yu with a spin. Nice finish.
Mark Yu on a personal 6-0 run here para sa Manila.
11 points down for Mark Yu. Kit Jimenez got fouled on the other end.
And boy, how about the craftiness of Kit Jimenez right there. As you see this move, dropped it at middle, spun baseline. Woo. That finish though.
And he completely lost Kit Jimenez on that spin move. Now, dahil na-miss din natin si Sheila Salaysay, balikan natin siya.
Pangalawang season pa lang ni Kit Jimenez pero nakapagtala na siya ng mga ilang triple-doubles at ang historic quadruple-double. From Sarangani where he has the liberty to play his game to an organized system of GENSAN, mas nadagdagan daw ang knowledge na at hindi lang nakafocus sa isang skill. Kit can play either 1 to 3 positions pero kung may gusto siyang masubukan, ito daw ay maging floor general. Mix and Coach Mike?
Well, he certainly has that opportunity right now, creating for two of the deadliest shooters in the MPBL, Mark Cruz and John Wilson.
Well, that was a good report actually by Sheila. I mean, the key word there is organized basketball. I mean, you have that so much talent, individual, you put it in a system that puts everything in place, and you perform there, and you embrace that system. So, imagine yung dami ng options mo kung ikaw Kit Jimenez.
And going back to organized basketball, this is the ultimate stepping stone for Kit. If he wants to reach his dreams playing in the PBA.
Right. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of the other teams as well, either here in the MPBL or outside, are actually looking at Kit.
Actually, may mga nabalitaan nga kung international teams.
Right.
Or even scouting Kit Jimenez, or at least giving him an opportunity to try out for them.
Yeah.
Right now, we're happy to have him here.
Yeah, and why not? Because, you know, the way that he's playing, and it's very marketable, no? It's always good to have that in your team.
Tama. 66-51. 2.5 minutes in the third. Alley-oop. Alan Mangahas to Jay Yutuk.
And Jay Yutuk's been asking for it. Put it up, put it up.
13 points for Jay. 7. Make that 8 assists now for Alan Mangahas. John Wilson for 3. Too easy.
I was going to say that the zone was actually working para sa Manila, but John says, not so fast, Mike.
Yeah. That's 14 points now for John Wilson in this game. The other end, Manila continues to be aggressive. Jay Yutuk will now proceed to the stripe.
Well, somehow, maybe it's one thing that Manila can actually work on is that this defense of GENSAN looks actually very porous, at least on the last few instances that we've seen.
There's the three-pointer by John Wilson. The closeout was there. But again, because of the shooting form of Wilson, it's almost impossible to block him. And there's the 8-9 by Alan.
Yeah, beautiful pass right there by Alan. And I feel when Kyle Napes did the jump stop before he challenged the shot, that was actually a delay that gave even more space for John to take that shot almost uncontested.
So should Kyle have just ran towards John? Yun nga lang, yung verticality niya yung masasacrifice doon.
But he has to be, in control still as you close out.
Oh, hindi pwedeng ma-foul. Yeah. 69-55, Mark Cruz to Kid Jimenez. Catch and fire. Short. Rebound Jay.
Well, imagine if those three start falling for Kid Jimenez. Who wouldn't close out on the guy?
Oh, yeah. Tatlo na sila. Jimenez, Cruz, and Wilson.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I won't be surprised if we start seeing Jerby Cruz make some three-pointers in the MPBL. 3 on the shot clock. Pass inside. Jay Yutuk onto Leo Esguerra.
Well, again, that defense been very porous internally for GENSAN, and I'm sure Coach Rich is going to be looking at this. He's talking to Coach Fish now. He's saying, medyo marami ng punto sa loob.
23-18, our assist story. Almost a steal. Counter by Kid Jimenez all the way. Yes, sir.
Well, we talked about leveling up. I mean, that was 2 steps higher.
Yeah. And again, signature Kid Jimenez. 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 dimes.
He just loves it to get into contact.
Yeah.
And he has that control, even airborne.
You know what impresses me the most? Is the fact that he already had 2 ACL injuries. Left and right. And he's not scared at all. He's so explosive in every movement, even in getting those rebounds. There's the closeout by Kyle. Miss from Wilson. Rebound of Preco. No putback. Mangahas with a smile will bring the ball down. 71-57. Alan calling out to play. Signature Manila basketball here.
Could be pick and pop here.
Esguerra to Kyle Napes. Who faked. Now he misses. 1 second. Mark Cruz. Too strong, and that will do it for our third quarter. Manila actually came alive in this frame.
Right, there's 27 points in the quarter against 23 of GENSAN, but we were talking about it, just very porous defense here and a lot more ball sharing. But look at this finish, though. Straight through in contact, getting that finish.
Ooh, it's normal, folks.
Yeah.
Nothing new from Kid Jimenez. He's that amazing. For 2 years already here in the MPBL. More importantly, it's a 14-point lead for the GENSAN Warriors. For a premium experience and for an exceptional stay, we would like to present to you Boracay de la Ia, the official hotel and resort of the MPBL. There you see their Facebook page, and also watch out for Sir Robert Kai, the owner of the resort. Isa yan sa mga minamahal natin dito sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. But we do thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez alongside Coach Mike Perez and Sheila Salaysay for your MPBL Friday. And there you see our VIPs, Satar Macantal. Kinakausap si Rudy Distrito. At dyan din si Commissioner Kenneth Terendez And of course, our head of basketball operations, Emer Oreta.
Scoring the quarter here, really the best quarter so far for Manila in third. 27 after going 15 and 15 in the first and second quarter, all because they shared that ball more, they moved men around, and they were able to get into the shaded area.
Now, we've seen leads erased in the fourth quarter. This is very manageable if you think about it, Coach. And Kit Jimenez will have to be careful alongside his teammates so that they can take care of this cushion.
Yeah, and they're down, what, 14 right now from a high of 23. It could be a good opportunity to further bring this down.
Alan Mangahas is on the court with Jay Yutuk, Mark Yu, Leo Esguera, and Maki Acosta. Kabila naman for GENSAN, it's Enzo Joson with Jervy Cruz, Felix Apreco, Mark Cruz, and Kit Jimenez. High-low, intercepted. At naiyakap ni Maki Acosta si Felix Apreco.
Well, Esguera knew that he fumbled that one. He had a free shot in that area. Mark Acosta was pretty much covered and should have just taken that shot.
So we go back. GENSAN's way, turnover story, 10-12 in favor of Manila. Enzo Joson. The drive, double team. Up top, steal. Alan wisely waiting for his teammates. Cross court. Mark Yu. Back up to Alan. Pinapalabas si Jay Yutuk. 12 on the shot clock. Yutuk. Nice defense by Kit.
Yeah, good defense right there.
Unfortunately, Jimenez looked to have gotten hit hard, so the referees had to stop the play.
Yeah, Jimenez still down on the floor, holding on to his head. I think that's on the right side.
I'm looking at Kit Jimenez's girlfriend right now, itong si Joey Versosa, to see her reaction. She seems to be a bit concerned, pero hindi naman ganun ka-concerned. Kasi alam niya na eh, sanay na siyang nasasaktan yung boyfriend niya on the court. Kit, because of his explosiveness, gets hit a lot. So, break it down for us. What happened there?
A little bit of the left elbow just going down on that temple area of Kit.
And now Kit just gave a wink to Joey at the sideline after scoring that layup.
I'm okay.
Oo, okay lang yan. Sanay na dyan yan. Steal. Jimenez. Onto the trailer. Mark Cruz. Jervy Cruz. Taking his time. Double team. Mark. Get the ball back. Up top. Short.
Yeah, that shot got missed, but grabe yung ball movement dun sa side ng GENSAN. Everybody just moving and going to open spots.
73-57, under 8 minutes to go. Alan Mangahas. Maki Acosta, on to Mark Yu. Back to Alan, 8 on the shot clock. Mangahas, he's never rushing. Now what can they do with 3 seconds? Mark Yu pulls up, and that's good.
Quick thinking there by Mark Yu, getting that open side on the floor. 2 dribble escape on a pull-up.
The warning for delay of game. Manalo trying to hound Kit Jimenez. Oh, Kit's not going to back down.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely knows what to do. Here he is. Jervy Cruz to Enzo Joson. That's a foul. Clear one.
Yep. Moved right straight into the path of Enzo. You have to give that offensive player at least one step to be able to navigate.
Now Nico Elorde checks in for Mark Cruz. This is the luxury for Coach Rich Alvarez. We usually talk about the pairs with either Joson and Jimenez, but now it's Jimenez, Joson, and Elorde on the court. Panibagong dynamic na naman yan.
Yep. And kita mo yung mga pumapasok very fresh. I mean, you can argue that this is a fully controlled game by GENSAN, but still, regardless, these guys are coming in fresh from the bench.
This from Enzo. Jervy. No put back. Oh, could have been a wise move by Nico Elorde. Now it's with Mark Yu. He uses the screen of Esguera. Mark Yu. The spin. In trouble. Foul by Enzo Joson.
Oh yeah, and Marky really loves this matchup with Nico Elord. He's been attacking that defense of Nico each and every time. Kanina, nung pagkatapos ng ball screen, there was a little switch. Once that Nico's defense came back, Mark started attacking.
It will be a baseline inbound for Archie Salo. Again, he's known for his defense. I asked him Archie, usually may isang star point guard kang binabantayan. Pero ngayon, sino babantayan mo? Sabi niya, hindi ko nga rin po alam Kasi anim sila Kung sino na lang yung masakto sa kanya. And that's why, in terms of scouting din tinanong ko siya, na-imagine mo na ba yung dinidepensahan mo yung anim na gwardya? Sabi niya, ano na lang talaga, sir? Ready na lang ako kung sino man yung nasa harap ko. Lalabanan ko na lang.
Yun na lang talaga lang ang magagawa mo to be ready whoever's in front of you.
But you know the good thing about Archie Salo, who is called for a foul now. I asked him, how did you become a defensive player, a defensive specialist? And he said, it's because of his 4 kuyas. 5 silang magkakapatid, all boys. At syempre, dahil siya yung bunso, pinapahirapan siya ng mga kuya niya every time that they would play. And they're all guards apparently. Umabot daw sa punto na dumadayo sila. Isang team na yun
Oh, right.
5 sila.
Right.
The Salo family, as Delmar Mahaling scores inside.
And para ma-develop mo yung defensive skills mo against your older siblings, malaking bagay yan. Nothing else more better than foundational at home.
Yes.
You learn these things.
A lot of pride as well happening in that household as
Bench
you
points
take a look at the bench scoring.
Yeah, it's 36 versus 15. Again, just guys stepping up for Coach Rich here in this game.
Foul on Delmar Mahaling. See his tally. 12 points now with 5 rebounds in this game for Delmar Mahaling. Naipes on the high-low. Ball recovered by Manila. Archie Salo. 4 on the shot clock. Archie with a prayer. Short. Rebound Jervy. Mabalik ang bola dito sa Manila Stars. 14 on the shot clock. Baseline inbound. They go to Kyle Napes. One-hander is good. 13 points for Kyle. Jimenez lost his defender. Elorde. Feed inside. Mahaling. Sorry miss for Delmar.
Pero kita mo, sipag niya. Now siya pa yung nauna bumaba. He was the one who took that shot. Immediately speeding down floor. That's just recognizing, your role on the team.
Especially knowing the fact that he has to protect the rim. 75-61, Mangahas now gets fouled.
And that's a good thing that you mentioned about rim protection because, that might be one challenge for GENSAN right now, yung rim protection. I mean, you have Larry Rodriguez, who obviously plays more on the outside.
Yeah.
Once you go up against a Baltasar inside, it's going to be rim protecting for your team.
Well, the piece that's missing today for GENSAN is Christian Pajarito.
Right.
He's basically their tallest player. 75-61. Halfway through the 4th and final frame. Nice matchup here. Mangahas versus Elorde.
Oh, yeah.
Nahuli si Alan.
Ika nga ng kaibigan ko dati. Captured.
At alam niya.
Yeah, he knew it.
And I guess he's not surprised as well because it's Nico Elorde who was trying to defend him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, by the surname itself, parang walang impact yung
Oo. Totoo. By the way, big shout out to Mitch Del Carmen and the rest of the crew who are at the sidelines watching Nico. Mga taga Muntinlupa yan kaya
yeah.
Di malayo yung dayo. There's a warning on the bench of Manila. We go back. 75-61. Nico Elorde. By the way, if I may just correct myself, it might have been Paranaque, no? Not Muntinlupa, kung saan nanggagaling Elorde family.
Oh yeah, Paranaque. Sukat.
Yeah. Big shout out to Garen, one of our former analysts, wherever he may be. 75-61. Julius Manalo onto Archie Salo. screen by Maki Acosta. Archie to Alan. 10 on the shot clock against John Orbeta.
Oh, wow.
Mangahas escapes. Too strong on the shot. Wilson got hit. No foul called. Now Micol, however you want to pronounce it, Mike Sorella will check in for Jerby Cruz.
Boy, and Coach Rich has really been digging deep in his lineup. Almost for every game, you know?
Well, he does have the luxury of doing it because of some blowouts.
Right.
Alley-oop with 2 seconds remaining. That works for Alan Mangahas and Kyle Lepes.
That's just chemistry right there. Familiarity on where your guy is and that, you know, understanding that he is gonna catch them.
75-63. Nico Elorde working with Mahaling. Again, this is still very much possible for Manila to try to win.
All right, they're only down 12.
Sorella is fouled.
Couple of stops and a good finish on the other end can bring this down to single digits.
Sorella proceeds to the stripe. We just saw a huddle for the rest of the GENSAN Warriors on the court, led by Nico Elorde. And you know, that was really one of my questions at the start of the season. With any veteran team, na maraming veterano, sino yung tatayong leader? Is it no surprise to you when you see Nico Elorde being able to gather his troops?
Yeah. I mean, you have to command that as, lalo na you being the point guard, no? You have to be able to establish order on the floor and how you're organized right there on both defense and offense. And so you got to be leading that charge for your team.
But did you actually expect Nico to be that leader or maybe another guy?
Well, knowing Nico, knowing the Elordes, talking about Alec, I think, you know, I expect that he's going to be leading that too because Alec would have done the same.
I had the same expectation. Now, some players are being a bit too clingy on the court. It's James Mangahas and John Orbeta. Ayun, umirit na lang si Alan kay John. Para kumalma sa kuya niya.
Kuya, okay na kuya.
We gotta love that from two of our veterans in this league. Ayun yung yakapan sa box out.
Right.
And then, no one's letting go.
Yeah.
Actually, ang dali lang sana nung let go.
Tanggalin, no?
Hindi naman masyadong nakalock eh.
Well, James actually got out position on that rebound situation. He was behind the defense, and so he got into it.
Double foul. Now Coach Rich is taking this time to talk to his players. Same goes for Coach Stylo under 1. Kabila para sa Manila. You know, it's actually interesting to see Coach Stylo still standing up for Manila instead of Coach Bam Ledesma. The change happened in Bacolod. So usually si Coach Bam yung nakatayo.
Yeah.
There's Coach Stylo. Pero kasi matagal na magkasama yung dalawang yan, so...
May familiarity na rin.
Pretty sure wala masyado nagbabago. Feed inside as Mahaling scores.
And boy, Mahaling really just been a prize find here for GENSAN.
And so, to your point, Coach Mike Perez, and to the point of Tex Winter, he did his work in the classroom, and now he's doing the work in the exam.
Yeah, he's passing the test.
78-63. 3 minutes to go. Mangahas. Back to you. Back to Alan. 3-pointer. Too strong. Nice effort by Julius Manalo. Mangahas. Defended by Sorella. 7 on the shot clock for Alan. The cross and the kick. Manalo. His 3-pointer. Short. All rebounded by Alan. Manila, they're losing time here. Mark Yu, another 3-pointer. And finally, they convert.
Yeah, finally they get something out of it. But prior to that one, when that pass went to the corner, sobrang talino nito si John Wilson. He knew that Alan Mangas was going to drive Miller, and there's a high chance that Alan's going to find the guy in the corner. What does John do? He stays in the corner and waits for that pass. Kaya na-challenge yung tira in the corner.
That's just unfortunate. Julius Manalo with the second delay of the game. That means a technical foul for the policeman. Now Wilson will proceed to the line. And I'll say this once again, John Wilson is the #1 free throw shooter in the MPBL. There you go.
You're kind of expecting that, huh?
Sometimes it's about challenging the players on air. Wala naman tayong magagawa. It's
Yeah.
as if they're hearing us while they're shooting. Wilson, by the way, is an 84% free throw shooter.
Let me get this straight. We have a professor in Gaude and
Jaggy Laude.
Jagilaude, and then we have a policeman.
Yeah. Pero ano yan? Literal na policeman.
Oh,
Si
okay.
Julius Manalo. As in, may uniform and everything yan, coach.
May chapa and all.
There was a foul on the loose ball.
Pero grabe activity rin ito si Mahaling talaga. I mean, he's just not done with the test yet.
Yes. Well, this is his golden opportunity.
Right.
Might as well continue until the buzzer sounds.
It almost feels like he's only gonna stop when the professor says, pass your papers.
Oo, tama. Asan ba si Jackie Laude? Wala siyang laro ngayon eh. There's the foul on the loose ball. So Mahaling, who already has 14 points, has a chance to increase his output. First one is good.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Look at the smile of Coach Rich. I mean, you know.
Yan yung gusto mo eh. Kasi nga reward system sila eh. Honesty yung sistema na, kumbaga, real talk tayo dito. Kung sino magaling sa court, yun ang ibabalik ni Coach Rich Alvarez.
Yeah, tsaka ikaw as a player, there's a certain sense of satisfaction, understanding that you actually earned it. No?
Yeah.
Na, you know, you worked your butt off for this and you're earning it.
And again, it starts during their practices.
Correct.
80-66. 2 minutes and 5. Alan Mangahas to the policeman. Julius Manalo. On to James. Mark Yu. Switch. 8 on the shot clock. Julius, back to you. Mark will drive. Foul.
Well, both teams only scored 9 points in this quarter. Very low scoring quarter here.
Yeah. They only have 2 minutes to go.
Right.
Especially for GENSAN, because they reached the 20-point mark.
Mm-hmm.
They not only reached, but breached the 20-point mark in the first 3 frames.
Well, you could argue that part of GENSAN slowing down on their production. And that's the 17-point here for Marquille. I mean, going to my point, the production could have slowed down because the only starter that stayed on the floor for most part was John Wilson. Kanina, diba? The others were really coming off the bench.
And you did mention, Coach Rich has been using this time as well to give some more exposure to the players from the third unit. Missed by Alan, and here comes Nico. Elorde on the run. Elorde all the way. 2 free throws.
Yeah, and they're gonna need that from Nico, especially down the stretch of all these more important games later on. He needs to be able to finish in open transition and leading that chart, and not just looking for open men. He, in himself, would get to a point that people are gonna sag off him, and he's gonna be able to take that shot, either a pull-up or a straight layup shot.
Oh, may coach's challenge tayo dito. The last foul call, courtesy of Manila. Might as well. With only 84 seconds to go. Timeout situation natin. Although, I'd like to bring this up. Sayang na hindi siya umabot dun sa before 2 minutes left. Especially if they still had 3 timeouts.
Right.
And I really want to give credit to Coach Louis Gonzalez for this. Because may automatic burn yun, di ba?
Right.
Kapag last 2 minutes na. You're
Correct.
down to your last 2 timeouts.
Challenge by Manila is unsuccessful.
The challenge was unsuccessful. And so, Manila burns a timeout.
Right.
They're down to 1.
So they could have burned that a little bit earlier, no?
If they had their 3rd timeout.
Right.
There's the foul. Mark Yu caught the arm of Nico Elorde. Nico will proceed to the stripe.
Shouldn't a player who actually felt that he fouled him tell the coach, no, it's okay, it's a good call?
You see Nico or see Mark Yu?
Si Mark Yu.
Si Mark Yu. I don't know. I didn't see him.
Right.
There you see the family of Nico Elorde. Sa kanang bahagi si Mitch, no? Yung kanyang asawa. Kasama yung dalawang anak. I forget the actual names, but I'm sure that the two children are named after Italy and Manila.
Oh yeah, I think I read it somewhere. Di ba kung saan sila...
Nahihiya na nga ako sabihin ulit eh.
Yeah,
Kung saan sila na-conceive.
Saan sila na-conceive, right?
Nico actually gave us permission to say that on air, just so you guys know.
Yeah, that was featured in one of the games, right?
We talked about it.
Yeah, we talked
in
about
Quezon.
it. Right. In Quezon, right.
Mark Yu now proceeds to the stripe. First one is a miss. So this will be, or this is looking like, the 7th straight loss of Manila. It's been a struggle, no? Even though they had some changes in personnel midway through the season. And let me tell you this, with Alan Mangas and company on board, they've only won one time.
Oh, yeah.
Isang beses pa lang.
And Alan came from Bacolod, if I got that correct.
That's right, with James.
With James. Mid-season transferred here to Manila.
They had some good opportunities, including the two in Iloilo and Bacolod. And again, there were losses. That's a foul on John Wilson. Counted ba yun? The referees will count it.
Yeah, I think that's one motion.
John Wilson knew about it.
At least he's not complaining here.
Minsan lang yan.
They do that foul. Ball was not put on the floor anymore. That's just really just one motion right there.
So Wilson will now exit this game and he's pointing to his head. He knew that he made a mistake. Enzo Hosan will replace him. Okay na, John. You played fairly in this game, fairly well. 82-69. Here's Nico Elorde. You know what's funny to think about right now? It's the fact that you're seeing some third-string big men for GENSAN. But in terms of guards, we're still seeing 3 of the 6.
Oh, yeah. Sobrang lalim ng rotation sa guards. You know? For you to have that luxury. And the thing is, each of the guards have unique offers.
Yes.
You know, features on the team. Hindi yung pare-pareho sila. No one's overlapping. You could either be a defensive specialist like Nico Elorde, you know, a versatile Kit Jimenez, a shooter in John Wilson, a combo guard, I guess, in Mark Cruz, I mean, you know, Mahaling as well. Masaglang.
Yeah.
You know, just different identities for each of these guards.
Again, folks, that's going to be even more interesting come the playoffs. Kung saan matchup problems na tayo. Yan ang usapan natin dyan.
It's almost like the Super Friends having their own unique powers to
Right?
itself.
Oo nga,
Parang
tama,
ganun, di ba?
tama. How about that Super Friends analogy coming from Coach Mike Perez to end the game here in Muntinlupa? Final score will read 82-70. This will be the 4th straight victory of the GENSAN Warriors, and Coach Rich Alvarez now has a record of 10 wins and 1 loss.
Yeah, and a lot of it really started with how clearly fueled this team of GENSAN has been. I mean, everybody's just stepped up. Everybody contributing, and the 6-guard rotation has been very tough, and everybody performing to their level. And just excellent basketball shown here by a lot of ball and man movement. And this is your best player of the game.
Well, I'm pretty sure this was a no-brainer to you.
Yeah.
Delmar Mahaling had 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, to the delight of his teammates who will now accompany him to Sheila Salaysay. He's had such a great week during their practices. Now, because he's worked hard in the classroom, he's performed very well in their exam. Siya po yung, kumbaga, top scorer sa exam.
And let me tell you, he graduated with honors today.
There you go. Valedictorian pa.
Correct.
Itong si Delmar Mahaling. Sheila, take it away.
Kasama ko nga ang OG homegrown, of course, ng GENSAN Warriors, ang best player of the game, Delmar Mahaling. Delmar, this is your 4th straight win. Papalapit na yung playoffs. So, bang kailangan ng GENSAN para maitawid yung mga natitira pang laro?
Yun lang sabi niya sabi ni coach, yun lang. Sabi niya, focus lang sa practice para makuha namin yung panalo. At saka, sabi niya sa akin lalo, focus ako sa practice, dapat makukuha ko din yung play namin.
Ayan, at syempre nakuha nyo nga itong panalo na ito. May mga babatiin ka ba?
Ay, binabat. I would like to thank our sponsors, Radiant Sportswear, Iconic Motorcycle, AGF, Jinky Skin. Hello to Mayora Lorele Pacquiao, Congressman Bobby Pacquiao, and Governor Ruel Pacquiao. Ay, binabati ko pala yung sa asawa ko at saka anak ko, si Emmanuel, Delmar Jr., Windelmark, at saka sa buong pamilya ko. Yun lang. Maraming salamat. At saka Mansion Boys pala. Binabati ko kayo. Yun lang.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations our best player, Delmar Mahaling. Kasama nag-celebrate syempre ang kanyang buong team. Thanks and Coach Mike.
Yun ang pinakamahirap na pabati portion na nakita ko ever here in the MPBL. Great job, Sheila, and great job to not only Delmar Mahaling but the rest of the GENSAN Warriors. We want to give shout-outs to Larry Rodriguez, who had 10 points. Kitty Menes with 10. John Wilson had 14. Who else? Enzo Hoson, 8 points, and he was very efficient. Plus 12 on the court for Enzo Hoson. Again, we thank you for joining us. For Sheila Salaysay and Coach Mike Perez, my name is Mix Gomez. At ito po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.